Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Renee. I'm a homeschooling mama of a 10-year-old, a 7-year-old, and as of recently, a 4-year-old. Y'all see that title? We made it. I'm so excited to say that we made it through our first homeschooling year. In this video, I want to share with you guys the lessons that we've learned, maybe some mistakes, our curriculum hits, and I want to answer the question, would we homeschool, or will we continue homeschooling, or was this year just a one and done? So jumping right in, I want to talk about some of the lessons that we've learned going through our first year of homeschooling. It's like with anything, guys, there are highs and lows, and I'm not gonna lie, we did have some tough weeks, and when we were experiencing some of those tougher weeks, I had to take a step back. I didn't see it at first, but I had to take a step back and try to figure out what was off. And I remember before we started homeschooling, I did lots of research, of course, and I went to a lot of different YouTube channels. I think some of the titles were what to avoid in your homeschool, or things that they've learned. And I remember watching a lot of those channels just to kind of make sure I could steer clear and take a lot of their advice. So y'all, not me taking notes and still doing what the parents suggested that you should avoid. I don't know if it was me being naive or it was something that I had to go through it throughout my own homeschool experience. A lot of the stuff I feel like I could have avoided if I would have just taken some of these parents' recommendations or things to avoid. So for me, one of the things that I struggled with was I needed to change my mindset on a lot of things. I felt like my homeschool was supposed to go a certain way. One of the things was scheduling. For whatever reason, I'm not sure, I felt like we needed to get up at a certain time every day, and it was very early. And I feel like we needed to do this, and that, and just be really structured. And I feel like it was almost too like strict. And I felt like if I just kept going through this routine with everyone, that we would eventually get into it and grow into it, and we would be okay with it eventually. And we never did. Everybody was frustrated. I was frustrated. And the very simple thing to do was to wake up a little later. And I don't know why I felt like I just needed to keep pushing this structure or this system for us to just be on this time schedule. I'm not sure. But that was, I don't know, just a small thing as that could have changed our homeschooling a lot. And I felt like I wasted a lot of time trying to force that, and it just didn't work for us. So just as simple as just starting a little later in the day helped us a lot. I don't know, I feel like it was just more like a mind thing. I felt like my homeschool should go a certain way, and I needed to just let things flow and stop being so structured. I feel it works for some people. Everybody's homeschool is different, but for us that did not work. And the parents' advice, that was one of the parents' advice was just like, well, a lot of the parents' advice was to create your own schedule, do whatever works for your family, and basically just relax, calm down. Like it's not that deep. And I feel like that alone freed me after a while, even though it took some months. And another thing for us was routines. Now, as crazy as that might sound, the routines of already having your days planned out, or what you're gonna do, that to me, after a while, a routine does get boring and it does get annoying. And I didn't like that, and my kids didn't like it either. So I had to change some things up with that, because like we were falling into the routine. Like, it wasn't a bad routine, but it just got boring. And I want our school to be fun and engaging and entertaining while we're learning. So to be honest, I spoke about this in our mid-year review. We needed to add something into our school that just kind of was a little bit different and brought like a different vibe, I guess you would say. And that's really why we added game school into our school. I feel like we was just getting a little bit too routine, and I didn't like how that felt. Sometimes you just got to switch it up a little bit, and game schooling really helped us. It was a great way to sneak in some learning, and we had fun doing that. I definitely would recommend that if you just need to kind of just, you feel like things are getting a little too routine and everybody's like, we just showing up at this point, and you just want to add some fun in. Game schooling was really good for us, and it really helped change our days and brought a lot of creativity. And like I said, it was a great way to sneak in some learning. I do want to say that I am grateful for those. I am grateful for looking at those channels, even though I didn't really take the advice. I don't know, looking back, I feel like I should have just take the advice. Like, and I don't know, maybe you have to go through these things on your own to just see, but people have gone through it. You don't have to go through it. That's why people, like, they give you advice. Take the advice. That's what I would tell myself looking back. Like, you taking notes, take the advice. Reread these notes. Like, what you just watching it for if you're not gonna take the notes? All right, so y'all, not only that, just everyday life was another thing, because y'all know how life will hit you sometimes. And so we had to learn how to navigate when different obstacles came up. If you're new here, I have to give you some quick context. My little boy, Michael, he's 4 years old. He was diagnosed with autism last year, and he is nonverbal. We've been going to his speech and his OT therapies is twice a week, a couple of hours a week. And so we had to get used to car schooling. That has been adjustment. Getting his therapies together and his plan together. It's a lot of different moving parts that we are still trying to figure out. So even that alone was or is something that we're still trying to balance. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I have not figured out our balance yet. And with that, I guess that affected how we homeschool or how our year went. And it's not to say that it was a bad thing. It's just I couldn't figure out the balance of life and trying to homeschool and mommy and wife and all those things. I'm still trying to balance and navigate that. That's something that I'm just gonna have to be okay with trial and error. So those are some of the lessons I feel like I've learned going throughout our homeschool year. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have some more sprinkled throughout this video. I just wanted to start off there. Y'all, I'm not trying to scare you guys. I just want to share with you guys some of the things that we did struggle with. We also had some very good days. I don't want you guys to think that just like, this is extremely hard and I don't want to do it because you like you're having a hard time. No, we had some really good days too. And we had some days and some good weeks. Like I said, it's a balance, and I am still trying to figure that out. I feel like that's just something that just what it is. And looking back, like I say, from where we are now to where we were back then, I'm so proud of where we are. I'm proud of how my kids, they grew so much, especially like with their education and just as people. But like with their education, like just watching them like at the beginning of the year struggle with some of the things that they struggled with to now is easy now. And like that, like I could cry just thinking about that. Me being able to see their learning styles and choose curriculums to meet them where they are. Like it's a lot of things that I really enjoyed learning about my kids going through our homeschooling year. Most of all, I really loved and appreciated the time that we spent together. Some days we laughed, some days we got on each other's nerves, but I feel like we grew a lot closer. I know we still talk about our month of April. If you guys have not watched our vlog for April or homeschool update, April was the month that we did our first unit study for our homeschool, and it was a spring unit study. Y'all, April was our favorite month because y'all had to watch the vlog, but we we did our own garden. We went on a trip to a strawberry farm, did some strawberry picking. We did a lot of experiments and just being outside in nature. We made some really great memories, and that was, I don't know, I'm not gonna lie, that was my favorite month too. We did a lot. We had a lot of core memories, and I'll share that video in the link below if you want to check it out later. But we had a really good month. April was really cool for us. Like I said, I wouldn't take any of that time back. Well, yeah, I would take something back, but I would take back that I didn't take the advice of the videos that I watch on parents telling us what to avoid or what not to do in your homeschooling year. Anything else I wouldn't take back except that, because I should have listened. Yeah, that's lessons learned. Like I said, I'll probably have some more sprinkled throughout this video. Now I want to jump into curriculum hits for us for this year. And how I want to do it is I'm going to start off with family subjects. Then I'm going to go into like the core curriculum for my 2nd and 4th grader. I have my notes so I won't really miss anything out. And I have all the curriculum sitting here, so I'll be showing you guys as I go along. And lastly, I'll answer the question, are we going to homeschool or not? So I do want us to start off with our family subjects. Now, I feel like I'm going to be saying this a lot throughout our video about balance. And because I still haven't mastered the balance of our schooling or a lot of how life is going. And because of that, a lot of our family subjects we did more so during our 2nd half of our school year, if that makes sense. I don't know, I guess because of how I was going about our first half, I just could not figure out the balance. I'm just be honest with y'all. But like more so now in our 2nd half, once I kind of took a step back and saw where we needed to make some changes and was able to be more relaxed in our approach, I felt like we added more of these family subjects back into our school year. So a lot of them we did not complete because of that. And there's nothing wrong with any of these curriculums. We loved every one of them. It was just the balancing that I just could not grasp in the first half. And I got a lot better our 2nd half. Not 100% on it, but I feel like I got a lot better. So we weren't able to finish a lot of these, but we were able to bring them in a lot more our 2nd half. So now I spoke about this curriculum in my 2nd graders curriculum picks. It ended up being in our family subjects, and it is Beowulf grammar. Like I said, we were using this for my 2nd grader, but my 4th grader did come in and sit in pretty much on all of the times that I was teaching my 2nd grader. My 4th grader was in there, and this is something for your 2nd grader to your 6th grader. So of course 4th grader sat in, and what was funny about this is my 4th grader is doing Fix-It Grammar from IEW, and a lot of the things that we were kind of touching on in here, some of the weeks that kind of coincide, which was really cool because I didn't have to go into as much detail as teaching her when she would complete her Fix-It Grammar. So I feel like that helped a lot, and I highly recommend this. This is very, very good. They love this, and I did too. It was a nice, fun, engaging approach, and I would highly recommend Beowulf grammar. Science. For science, we did a video-based curriculum, which I appreciate and love, because anytime I could just like take a step back and I didn't have to teach per se, let my voice rest, we could all just sit and watch. I'm here for that. It was from Science Shepherd. We did the introductory science. Videos are like 3 to 4 minutes. I don't think it was no longer than 5 minutes. And they would just sit, watch. We would go through the workbook, answer the questions, and we talked about what we learned, and just we had really good conversations from it. So I would highly recommend this video-based course. Now moving into more so of our geography, history, taking the Middle East for Jesus. Another really, really good curriculum. We were able to get a little bit more into our history, his story. Love this as well. So what we were able to be more consistent with If you guys have been with me from the start, you have heard me say her name, Jessica. Over at the Waldock Way, we did her we did her traveling the states. This is the teacher manual. Of course, it comes with more things, the student notebook and the nature profiles. And I did a video showing more about this curriculum. I will link everything below if you guys want to check that out to kind of get like a little in-depth review of what to expect with this curriculum. We did do this the entire year. We set a personal challenge as we were going through learning the states with this curriculum to not only learn about the states, but to like memorize the state name and the capital. And now we didn't finish, okay? Because some of the things we kind of set in, but we are way over to completing it. We have learned and memorized like the states and the capital, and I don't know, I feel really good about that. But that was a personal challenge. That doesn't, you don't have to do that when you go through her curriculum, but I just feel like that was just something that I wanted them to know. And we are doing her detail and her organization and how she lays everything out for you. You don't have to really think about anything, but she has everything in these curriculums for you. All you have to do is just purchase what she suggested, and everything else you don't have to worry about. I highly recommend checking her out, Jessica, over at the Waldock Way. So for foreign language, we did decide to do talkbox.mom. And I do have, like, a lot of this, everything I'm pretty much talking about, I do have sneak peek videos so you can kind of look inside and see what I'm talking about. I highly recommend checking talkbox.mom for Spanish. And it's not even have to be Spanish. It's a lot of different languages that you can go through, but we chose Spanish for our family. And it's actually kind of scary how quickly you retain the information being taught. The way she teaches it, you using like everyday language. We really enjoy it. Highly effective. I recommend this 10 out of 10 with the talkbox.mom. That's our foreign language. So you guys, that was our family subjects. Now I want to dive into my second grader and my fourth grader's core curriculums. We're going to start off with math for my second grader. I'm going to be bouncing back and forth. Start off with my second grader, then my fourth grader. So with math for Zara, we did Math UC Alpha. I have nothing bad to say about this curriculum at all. Hands-on approach, which my girls thrive on, so this worked really good for her. Now I can say when we got to the point of her and her subtraction, she did struggle a little bit. Now I do have a video about a program called AIM, and this is a Math UC program. Here's AIM. And this is for addition and subtraction. We used this curriculum at the beginning of my fourth grader's year because she had a hard time retaining her math facts for addition and subtraction. So I was happy to have this because I used this for Zara when it got time for her subtraction facts. We just jumped in and used this program, and I was bouncing back and forth between Alpha and AIM, and that was just for her subtraction facts. She didn't need this for her addition. She did fine with that, but it just when she got to subtraction, she kind of struggled a little bit, so I used the steps in this program. So I was happy that we had this. For my fourth grader, like I just mentioned, at the beginning of the school year, since she did struggle with her subtracting and adding facts, fluency, we did do the program AIM for her. And after we did this, we went straight into beta. Now, we went to beta because they had a couple lessons in here about regrouping. Specifically for her, subtracting with regrouping, she struggled with, and I wanted her to go through these lessons and become better at it and practice with it, because she really did not like subtracting at all. But once she was fluent with it, and once she learned the process of it and became familiar with it with practice, she got a lot better. And now I am happy to say that she will fly through subtracting with regrouping. So we did a couple of lessons in this book, not all, but it was mainly so for the subtracting and regrouping. I continue to practice with her and to keep her fluent with her facts. You don't need to supplement, but if you're new here, I will supplement and it's not needed, but that's just me. So she did go through one a day for the addition and subtraction, and then I moved on to 100 days of time test, and I had her complete one of these every day. I didn't time her. That wasn't my goal. I just wanted to keep her fluent with her facts. So this is what we went to. So after beta, we went to gamma, and this is where we are now. Like I said, we didn't finish this as well because of how we had to break up her year with getting her fluent at the beginning and then going over her regrouping. I really wanted her to master that. Now we jumped into gamma and we're going through it. So like I said, we didn't get to finish it, but we did get a good way through. And I do like how we broke up her year to lay that foundation at the beginning. So now math is coming a lot easier for her, and I'm happy. I really love math. You see, I feel like it has improved my girls' math skills. So for spelling, for my second grader, we used All About Spelling. We were able to complete this, and I have no complaints about this curriculum. This worked for Zara, and we loved it. Now for spelling for my fourth grader, like I said, I have flip throughs if you guys want a little bit more of what the program's about and just kind of seeing what they offer and how it's set up. I'll link everything below in the description. But this one we were doing, it's called The Phonetic Zoo, and this is from IEW. We were doing level A. I chose this curriculum because it was a different approach when it comes to spelling. The traditional spelling list for Lauren did not work. Fast forward, gave this a try, and she actually took to this, and this program helped her out tremendously with her spelling. If you have a kiddo that does struggle with spelling and you're looking for something a little bit more unique or different, I would recommend you guys give Phonetic Zoo a try and see what you guys think. But for us, it really did work, and we love this program. Now I want to jump into writing. For my second grader, we did use The Good and the Beautiful, handwriting, level 2, and this worked really good for her. To me, it got the job done, and I felt like it was effective. But like I said, y'all know me, or y'all will get to know me at this point. I added in a supplement with this because she got done with this pretty quickly throughout our school year. So I felt like she needed more practice to build up her stamina when it comes to writing. So what I did was I had Zara write poetry. Now Zara, I didn't have her writing her own poetry. I had her doing some copy work from a poetry book. So I bought the book, Where the Sidewalk Ends, from Shel Silverstein. Love his books, and I just thought this would be a cool way to add getting her some copy work practice. Now let me tell you a little bit more about how this started. I love a good podcast, and I like to listen to it when I'm cleaning or doing anything throughout the house or whatever. And Mr. Pudewa from IEW gave this talk on copywork to composition. I'll have this link below if you guys want to check it out. I'm going to try to give you a little brief summary of it, but of course watch it because he wraps this up a lot better than I am explaining to you. His idea was that copywork, no matter if it was from a fairy tale, English literature, or poetry, or a Bible verse, copying it from these things, the child would not have to worry about capitalization or where you put your commas, or basically grammar. This allowed the child to have freedom with just copying a passage. It helped build into the child as they would do these copy works from whatever you decided to choose from. It would help the child's attention to detail in the long run, while this helped build up their stamina in writing, their muscles, and last but not least, it helped with patterning language. Y'all, I was so listening to this podcast, the points and what he was saying, but it was really a good talk about basically the power of copy work. So in the beginning, we were using a writing curriculum for Zara, but it wasn't working for her. So by mid-year, this is basically our writing program, or what we did for Zara. I guess it wasn't really a program, but this is what writing looked like for Zara, and it really worked for us. So this is what we decided to go with, and I am Really glad we did, because I felt like she got a lot out of it, and her writing stamina has improved, and I am really grateful for that talk. I will link it below for you to check it out. So with my 4th grader for handwriting, we did also jump into the good and the beautiful. This is level 4 with cursive handwriting. Like I said, the good and the beautiful, I feel like this does stand on its own, and it can, but for me, I will supplement. You guys, nothing wrong with good and beautiful by far. I just feel like my girls needed a little bit more. And so we added in cursive handwriting workbook for kids. Now, you know, when it comes to cursive handwriting, not every curriculum teaches cursive the same. With these 2 resources, or with these 2 books, I had no problem with going back and forth, because they kind of taught it the same. So we would go through the good and the beautiful. We went through that, wanted to reinforce more with cursive, so I got the other one, and she worked through that really good. I feel like this was a good foundation for teaching her how to write cursive. We went through both of those, and she has really improved with her cursive and learned a lot from these books. Also, for writing for my 4th grader, we did go with IEW Structure and Style Level A, y'all. I can't say enough about structure and style. This program has definitely been a game changer for writing when it comes to Lauren, because our previous year, it was horrifying. She was in tears, I was in tears. I almost felt like it was like a traumatic experience when it came to writing. She was scared at first. I was a little nervous, like at the beginning of the year, when it came to this program. As we went through IEW Structure and Style, going back now and just like reading through what she wrote and what she learned from this program, this has truly built her confidence, y'all. She has grown. She has grown so much when it comes to her writing. Her and I can say, because like going through these things, I'm learning a lot as well. I was not taught this way. I wish I was taught this way. I feel like a lot of people say that though when they go through this program like this. 10 out of 10 for IEW Structure and Style. This has been a game changer. We didn't finish. We came really close. I think we were on like maybe week 20 with maybe like 4 more weeks to go. You can finish this throughout your school year. This was, like I said, about balance, and you know, I can go on and on about this curriculum. I love it. 10 out of 10. You have somebody struggling with writing. If you're struggling with writing, this is an awesome curriculum. I love it, and I can't say, I can like I said, I can go on and on about IEW. So that's what we did for writing with Lauren. So moving into reading comprehension, we did use the Sunlight readers for both Lauren and Zara, my 2nd and 4th grader, and they went through them really good. For Lauren, we didn't choose the 4th grade readers. Start of the year, seeing long passages, she would freak out and get a little overwhelmed. So I feel like I just needed to dial it back a little bit. So we did go with the 3rd grade readers. Now when she looks at longer passages, we'll read through them a lot more confidently than she did at the beginning of the school year. So I felt really good about kind of dialing it back and picking out the 3rd grade readers, because it did build up her confidence. So now she's going through books and I don't even think she realizes that it doesn't scare her as much as it did at the beginning of the school year. So that's what we did for the Sunlight readers. Now for more so on the reading comprehension, I did supplement, and I chose reading comprehension grade level 1 for Zara, and the big book of reading comprehension activities. She went through both of these supplements really well, and I felt like this helps her out a lot with understanding, just kind of going through different passages and answering questions. So these were really good for Zara. For my 4th grader, when it comes to reading comprehension, like I mentioned earlier, longer passages did freak her out. So with her kind of struggling with that, she had a hard time with reading comprehension and going back through the text, finding answers. We used Reading Detective. This is really good, and this really has helped Lauren a lot from the beginning of our school year to now. She has grown a lot in this area. Does she still struggle with it? Yes, but we are continuing to practice this, and I keep telling Lauren, practice makes better and better and better and better. And I know this is frustrating you, and this is a concept that you kind of struggle with, but if you keep practicing with it, eventually things get easier for you. And I had to kind of point out the example of her, like with her math facts, she struggled at the beginning and with subtracting and regrouping, but I told her, look how you practice every day, and look how now you can breeze through it, and it's like easy to you now. Same with reading comprehension. I know it kind of frustrates you, and she does not like to get things wrong. That's a whole nother subject or a whole nother topic for another day, but we just have to keep practicing with it. And from the beginning to now, I can say she has grown with that resource. That has helped her out a lot. So we're going to continue practicing with her till she gets it and she feels more and more comfortable with it. But we love Reading Detective. So also with reading comprehension for my 4th grader, I did purchase the reading test. I also just to pair it with the Reading Detective. You didn't really need to, but I feel like some days where I just kind of wanted just to switch it up with her, just give her a little variety, a little change. I did purchase this, and we did go through this, and this helped her out a lot as well. Now I want to jump into grammar, which I mentioned earlier in the beginning of this video. Grammar kind of became our family subjects. I'm using this for my 2nd grader. It's Beowulf's Grammar. It was a fun, engaging curriculum, really well thought out and laid out, and I loved how they taught grammar. With that being said, for my 4th grader, we have it all posted up, but Lauren is going through Fix It Grammar from IEW. This is Nose Tree Level 1. Like I said, some weeks when we were going through Beowulf Grammar, when Lauren did get to her Fix It Grammar, I didn't really have to reinforce a lot of what I needed to teach her through Fix It Grammar because we kind of went through it in Beowulf. Now, it's not like every week things just lined up. It just, I don't know, it was just coincidentally happened to line up when she would do something in Fix It Grammar that we were mentioning or talking about it in Beowulf. You don't need Beowulf to do Fix It Grammar, but it was just really cool to have her have that extra practice when she was sitting in there with us when we were doing Beowulf, and then to go into her Fix It Grammar. It helped a lot. So those are the things that we were doing for grammar, and y'all, I love them both. They were a hit in our homeschool. Now when it comes to vocabulary for my 2nd grader, we went with Wordly Wise, book 2. So how we've been using Wordly Wise in our homeschool is you have 10 vocabulary words in every lesson. I only went with 5 at a time. So maybe the first 2 days we would go over the 5 of the definitions, and then the next 2 days we would do the remainder 5. And I would also have her on the words that she needed a little bit more reinforcement with, put them in her vocabulary notebook. For those who know School Nest, I love their notebooks. Again, I do have a flip through of how this book is laid out when it comes to how they do their vocabulary words. So you guys can check it out, or I can speak about it right here. So it's kind of almost like a word study, which I really like. Here you write the definition. You can write the word in your own words, or a sentence about the word in your own words. Then you can have a space where you can draw the word. Over here on the next page, you can use the words in a sentence, practice some copy work with the word. They have a place for the prefix, root, suffix. You write antonyms and synonyms. It's just the way they have it where you can break down a word. This was a really good way to, like I say, reinforce words that she really didn't know. I would just have her kind of come in this book and write them out, draw them out. We could talk about it, put it in your own sentence. I just like, this really helped her. So that's kind of how we went through Wordly Wise. She learned a lot from this curriculum, so it was a hit for us. for Zara. Vocabulary with my 4th grader, we use vocabulary cartoons. Show you like a little picture of how it's set up. Here's the definition, like a little link word, and has a cute, funny little picture to help you remember the word. And how we use this is we'll, like I said, go over a word. And for her, she has a school nest notebook as well. Y'all saw, I love how they help you really dissect a word. So we will pair these two things together for words that I really wanted her to grasp and know. We'll come to our vocabulary notebook. And we used word root. This is the beginning, grades 3 through 4. This was a hit. I love how they taught this, how they broke the words down. For us, as we were going through this, I would have her write down her prefixes, roots, or her suffixes on an index card. And as we kind of been going through it, we collected a lot, of course, going through this book. Every so often, I would have her kind of lay out her index cards, and we would like flip them over, and she would tell me the meaning of them. And that's kind of how I reinforced her memorizing her roots, her prefixes, her suffixes, and this has worked a lot for Lauren. I feel like this was a hit in our book. So yeah, we were able to go through this, and I really love this program. So y'all, those are all of the curriculum picks or hits from our first year of homeschooling. These programs really helped us and transformed my girls when it comes to their education. I can see a huge difference, and I'm really happy about that. I am proud of them, so proud of them, and where we have come this far. Now when it comes to them like doing things outside the house, Zara did ballet, and she really liked that. She did it the first half of our year. Around the second half, she decided that she wanted to kind of switch things up, and now she wants to be in gymnastics. So we're doing gymnastics now. Nothing was wrong with ballet. She just wanted to try new things, and I really like that. And I really like that she wants to try new things and not afraid to experiment and try new things. So we're in gymnastics now. And for Lauren, she loves soccer a lot, so we're gonna continue riding out with soccer, and she's even now wanting to do gymnastics, and so she wants to do both. So those are some of the things that they did outside of the house. Now I want to answer the question, will we continue to homeschool, or was this just it? Yes, we are going to continue homeschooling, even though I have not mastered the art of balance and balancing out my life. Like I said, not only when it comes to homeschooling, but mommy duties and wifely duties. I'm still having like I said, I have not mastered it yet. I am a work in progress, and I understand that's going to be something I have to work on, and just to be okay with trial and error and progressing. We're gonna get our flow. I want to instill a love for learning. Even after they finish school, I want them to always want to learn and grow as people. That's one of my main goals for homeschooling, and I really feel like we are on our way to doing that. So short answer, long answer, whatever. Yes, we are going to continue to homeschool. So I want to say that I am very appreciative, and I'm grateful for you guys following us on this journey. And I hope you guys continue to follow us on, because yes, we're going to continue to homeschool. Yes, there's going to be more content. Yes, you're going to probably hear me vent and whatever along our way. But I really appreciate you guys following us, because there's definitely going to be more to come. This has been our first official homeschool update for our first year. That is still really wild for me to hear myself say we made it through our first homeschool year. Y'all, for those who know, you know, like I was horrified starting this. So seeing myself now versus where we were at the beginning of this thing, I'm proud. I am very, very proud. That's like the one word that I have to say about our homeschooling year. If I had to sum it up all in one word, proud will be the word. So you guys, that is our update, and until next time, very soon, I will see you guys. So, bye.